I'm Nancy Rivera. I'm an agent with Sweet Home Realty in Clarksville, Tennessee. I've been doing real estate for 9 months now, and T.R.A.C. has been amazing. So it's grown my business. I'm a wife with 4 kids, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. And scheduling and priority and putting 100% into it. So
let's go into the why, separate take. Elaborate a little
Mhm.
bit, if you would, why you got into real estate. Like, what were you doing before real estate? Why did you decide to get into it? And what are your goals?
Okay. The why, as far as why I got into real estate, is because I'm a veteran, and my husband and I both were in the military, and having a daughter and both of us always being gone, I wanted the flexibility of being my own boss and making my own hours and helping people at the same time. So that was the reason why I got in, so I could spend more time with my family.
All right. So next question, when you initially heard about T.R.A.C., or now we call it T.R.A.C. Plus,
Mhm.
what were you attracted to the most? Or kind of what did you think when it was first described or shown to you?
What attracted me to T.R.A.C. at first was the 12-week course, the structure of it. I knew that I needed some type of foundation, and I needed a weekly structure to fit into my schedule. So that's what attracted to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And based on your experience so far through T.R.A.C., what's been your favorite part about it?
Initially, my favorite part of T.R.A.C. was learning to put myself out there. At first, I was initially scared to, but once I did it and got over the fear of putting myself out there, I saw success. So that's ironically the first thing I was scared of was actually the thing I needed to do.
Wow,
So that's what got me there.
that is profound. That's a good little soundbite right there, because again, it's so relatable. Your story, I can already tell, is so relatable. All right, now you got to give me in some of those details you shared earlier. So here's the big one, right? How has your business
Okay.
changed compared to before?
Okay, how my business has changed over the last 12 weeks, because before I started T.R.A.C., I had no business whatsoever. I had just started reactivated my license, getting back into it, and I went from 0 to 13 clients in a month, just learning the tools and putting that foundation and just going out there and building those relationships with others and really caring for my clients and knowing that they feel heard, and it's just been tremendous. If you put in you get out what you put in.
That's amazing. And dive in a little deeper, like what would you say fundamentally changed? So the same question I asked you earlier, the strategy, the confidence, knowing what to say, like what has T.R.A.C. taught you that led to those 13 clients in 1 month, for crying out loud?
T.R.A.C. has taught me that you have to really put yourself out there. You have to go and say yes to things that you wouldn't have originally said no to. You have to build those relationships and know and show people that you do care. You genuinely care about them. And it has shown me that you have to be top of mind. You have to be that go-to person that say, okay, I know that she's a real estate agent. I'm going to go to her because I trust her and she cares about me. She genuinely cares. So that's what has taught me. It's not about chasing a check. It's not about um it's not about that, because if you go in that with that type of mindset, you're not going to get anything out of it. um it's about building relationships. So that's what I've learned.
Gosh, I'm high-fiving you here, because that is just, I mean, none of this is scripted, obviously, and that is just music to my ears on a personal level for you, Nancy. Is like to hear you say that, and that's the takeaway, because that was the goal of the whole deal, is having that theme of relationships and not being all weird about it, you know? So great job.
Yeah.
So moving forward, so that's kind of, you've painted the picture of what was, what is now. Let's look into the future. If you had a crystal ball and said, well, here's the impact that I see T.R.A.C. having on my business in the future moving forward, what would you say about that?
Well, I'm a firm believer that, God has his hand in everything, and that what we do, even the bad, it will turn out to good. Because as far as I say, as me being on a team prior, I've learned what I didn't want out of a team. And so now me being solo, it makes me realize in the future when I do have a team, that's my end goal. I want to make sure that they are putting 100% into everything they do, and the knowledge is there. You know, they're not out here trying to wing it, but they have a good foundation and tool set to go off of. So, and that they care and that they're building relationships, because I want them to grow as well.
What would you say to another agent out there who is considering taking T.R.A.C.? Maybe they're skeptical. They're like, I don't know if is it another one of those things. What advice, if you were talking to another agent, would you give them if they're on the fence about T.R.A.C.?
I would tell them definitely do it. And I also would give them advice to say that, you know, you get out what you put in it. If you're gonna commit to it, do it. And because it's going to show in your results. Granted, 0 to 13, so it's going to show. You have to be 100% committed, and that's what you're going to get out of it. You have to be accountable for your own actions.
Yeah. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody can do it for you. T.R.A.C. I mean, look, there's a lot of great programs out there, right? And we're hopefully one of them. And no matter what you do, you just hit the nail on the head. You got to commit. You got to play all in, and that's what we try to really stress for expectations on the front. So I'm glad to hear you actually heard that and you stuck to it.
And what I love about it, I felt like it gave me a good foundation, and it gave me the tool sets to use the knowledge and the tool sets to go out there and put myself in front of people and to use those tools.
Not that you memorized every week or anything like that, but just curious, and it's okay if you can't think of something, but was there a video or at least a topic of one of the weeks that just stands out to you above any of the others?
Yes. First started page 25 about going out there and giving your card to somebody and realizing that, hey, they're just like me. I have something to offer. And so I guess that was my biggest takeaway, is to not fear rejection and just go do it. And I think that was the biggest thing of growth for me that week. Starting off was just, it was intimidating, but it was good. It was a good intimidating to me.
Yeah. Go for no, right? It becomes a game in a weird way. I used to have the fear around rejection just like anybody else. And now maybe I'm sick and twisted. I don't know, but I actually look forward to hearing objections, because now I like a good old debate or whatever, you know?
Yeah. To me, it's like, okay, no, that's fine. Like if you go door knocking or anything, okay, on to the next. I don't take it personally anymore. I used to be like, oh, why, you know, but now it's like, okay, on to the next. We'll just keep going. So, so there's bound to be a yes in there.
Yeah. Well, and just a sidebar, since I'm talking to you. So those 13 clients, have you been successful in getting them under contract? I know it's tough out there on the buy side, but how are they starting out?
Well, out of my clients the 13 that I have, 10 of those are buyers. So we've been writing a lot, 20 plus, you know, offers. And but it's okay, because it's been learning. I've learned a lot. I'm going to be one heck of an agent when this thing goes back to normal.
I love your attitude.
But I do have some listings coming up, so that's amazing. I got 3 listings, so they're all going active this summer, so that makes me excited to be on the other end of it.
So what is your goal? Like, did you have a goal going into 2021, and what if 100% of these end up selling and closing, or what does that mean to you?
Just keep going. Honestly, the day before my procedure, I just told myself, we didn't know how far my cancer had gone. I didn't know if I was going to be around for 6 months. So when I woke up from surgery and they said they got it all, I thought, okay, I'm coming back, and God has me here for a reason, and I'm coming back giving it all, because life is so short, and I have 4 kids, and the thought of not being able to be here with them 6 months from now scared me, and that was a real possibility. So when you face something like that, so traumatic, a no doesn't mean it's not as profound anymore. When beforehand that rejection was just, it was fearful, but now it's just, okay, we'll move on to the next. And my hopefully end goal is to have a team and to grow agents underneath me, and just to do that and to give back. And I've since starting T.R.A.C., I've gone, we've been giving back a lot, my husband and I. We've been on social media. We've raised funds for a car in Africa. Like, we've started a thing for the homeless. I've just really, and I didn't realize how many people I knew. My SOI has grown so much. And the more you do, and the more you put yourself out there, and it's the thought of giving more than receiving. People know you for that. So
you've got it figured out, and I know it hopefully shouldn't take things like you've had to go through to have those realizations, but you appear young and you have life figured out, girl. I mean, it is going to be fun to watch you, because you have the advantage now, in a weird way, of perspective that so many of us, I can't pretend to relate, but you've got something special there in perspective, and you're clearly not wasting it. And I can tell you, your impact and wanting to serve others shines. And this right here, what we're doing will just be a sliver. Will speak to at least one human, probably more, and change them, and cause them to see the belief in themselves, cause them to feel like they can see themselves as a part of your story, and magical things happen. You and I will never know the impact we've had truly on other people, but that's kind of what makes it fun too.
I think of it as planting seeds, and my husband and I were like, we're planting seeds for the kingdom, planting seeds, and people will always remember how you made them feel. And that's the end goal. Is I think about that when I'm doing things, even in the small things. I think about how, if I was on the other end of that, even with transactions, I put it in my number 14 offer, and I tell my buyers, my clients, we're in this together. We are doing this together. I understand how devastating this feels, but what God has for you is for you. And that's the way I keep them, to say, okay, you're not alone in this. This is a crazy market, but we're going to get through this together. So
that's incredible. Well, Nancy, thank you.
I'm very, very grateful, and thank you for this program, T.R.A.C Plus, or T.R.A.C. If it had not been for that, it allowed me to be accountable, and really put myself out there, and it changed the game for me. It completely changed the game.
That is so cool. Well, kudos to you. Hats off. This is only the beginning for you. I know you know that. It's just boiling. It's bubbling up for you, and things are about to really get real. And I wish you and your family and everything so much. All right.
So hopefully you'll be hearing more from me in the future.
I look forward to that very much, very much. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Go get some new business and write some contracts.
All right. Well, take care. Thank
All
you.
Right.